Hello and welcome to the Daily Meal for Saturday the 27th of September 2025. Today was match day away in South Wales in Swansea and it was a 1-1 draw. As I predicted in yesterday's video, which was up very late, my apologies for that, but I did get the score right. So 1-1, and this is the first outing for the black and red kit. Coburn header, yes, finally, we have a goal from Coburn. Earns Millwall point in South Wales. This is the official match report from millfc.co.uk. Swansea City and Millwall drew 1-1 at the Swansea.com Stadium in the Sky Bet Championship on Saturday afternoon. Jan Vipotnik gave the home side the lead early in the first half, but Josh Coburn equalised on the stroke of half-time to secure a point away from home and maintain the Lions' unbeaten record away from the Den in 25-26 so far. Alex Neil drafted in Will Smallbone for his first start in a Millwall shirt, whilst the substitutes bench had a noticeable stronger look to it. Billy Mitchell and Mihailo Ivanovic both back from injury. Millwall had to ride out the early pressure from the hosts, and Vipotnik have had to be deflected wide, but on 12 minutes Vipotnik was to get his home back as Swansea took the lead in scrappy circumstances as Zaidan Inusa rode a challenge and advanced into the box. He found Ronald, who jinked past one and tackle and squared for Vipotnik. The frontman's improvised finished just about rolling into net despite the attempts of Ryan Leonard. Yeah, he kind of like, you know the thing where they let it run through their legs and then they kind of swipe at it with their back heel. Yeah, he did one of them because he was facing the wrong direction. So yeah, if it was our strikers, they would have took a touch, tried to turn, got tackled, and then counter attack. But you know, watching it on Sky Sports Plus, and you knew it was going to be one of them because the commentator goes, you know, welcome to Swansea, and then he gets into his spiel, does all that, and he says, well, so far in all of Swansea's games, there hasn't been any goals in the first 15 minutes of any of their matches. And then Bosch, 12 minutes. Oh, thanks for saying that, guy, because, commentator's curse. You've just willed that to happen. You've summoned it up in your curse of the commentator. You expected it was going to be one of those days. It was a very physical game. A lot of teams moan about us being physical, but my goodness, Swansea were physical with us, so they better not complain because they gave as good as they got. In response, Mill worked the ball forward with Turno Ballo and Derek Mazusako, but Smallbone's effort from the edge of the box went wide before Ethan Galbraith's strike from range at the other end failed to trouble Stephen Bender. Inusa's snapshot from just outside the area then flashed past Bender's far post. Some sweeping build-up play from the line shortly before the half-hour mark could and perhaps should have led to an equaliser, but as Smallbone advanced into the box, his left-footed effort went wide. Mill's away contingent then continued to show their appreciation as Ballo and Mazusako combined, only to see a shot saved by Lawrence Vigouroux, with the Frenchman's cross then having to be cleared away as Ballo continued to seek as Mill continued to seek the equaliser. 5 minutes from the break, another sweeping Mill moved down the right-hand side, almost garnered the equaliser, but Zadomu Maku's cross looked to meet Coburn at the back post. A goal-saving challenge from Ben Cabango kept Swansea's sheet clean in first half stoppage time. However, Mill got their reward. A deep free kick was sent over towards Jacob at the back post, with Coburn showing strength to hold off his marker and head home from close range. Yes, and I think that was a worked out corner routine. It looked, pretty simple, like, whip it into the big man and he heads it across goal. But I think so. Brian plays it short to Ballo, and then Brian runs on, and just that split second, the guy who was there in front of Ballo, he kind of turns to Brian, and that allows Ballo to angle it and then whip it in. And it was clearly aimed right onto Jake Cooper's head, and then he doesn't try and head it towards the goal, he heads it towards... He doesn't try to score with the header, he heads it back across goal. So I think that was a little thing that they've been working on. So that's good. Leonard was situated well to head Josh Key's cross away from danger in the first notable moment of the second half, as was Mazusaku, as the Swans looked for a smart free kick routine with 58 minutes on the clock. End-to-end action then saw Smallbone's cross and Namaku's swipe at goal turn into an attack for the home side. However, expert defending from Tristan Kramer stopped Bender from being troubled. On 68 minutes, Camille Negley and Macaulay Langstaff were introduced by the head coaches Smallbone and Mallow made way, with the next action seeing Ronald balloon an effort over the crossbar. Negley's first involvement was to send over a delightful left-footed cross that had to be headed behind, as a pair of corners followed that ended with Kramer heading over Amaku's kick. With 74 minutes played, indecision in the Swansea defence, combined with pressure from the line, saw Vigouroux make a mistake and leave the ball loose in the penalty area. Langstaff looked to capitalise and score, but he was denied by a block. Brian's clever through ball allowed a quick effort that Vigouroux had to stop at his near post, which was followed by Mitchell's return to action, as Ian Ivanovic replaced Mazusaku and Coburn. A rare Swansea second half effort saw substitute Manuel Benson's attempt sail wide of Rahis Bangor Williams seeing the final few minutes of action following Adam Ida's disallowed goal. Ida glanced ahead of wide 7 minutes of stoppage time, with the Lions seeing out the remaining moments to earn a point on the road. And it was a very hard-earned point indeed. So, the team was as follows: Bender, Leonard, Kramer, Cooper, Bryan, Emaku, Luongo, Mazusako, Ballo, Smallbone, Coburn. The subs bench was Sturge, Taylor, Mitchell, Ivanovic, Negley, Crocombe, Langstaff, Bangor Williams and Harding. And the subs that came off of that subs bench are Bangor Williams on for Emaku in the 87th minute, Mitchell on for Mazusako in the 77th minute, Negley on for Ballo in the 67th minute, Smallbone on Langstaff on for Smallbone in the 67th minute, and Ivanovic on for Coburn in the 77th minute. It was a battle, physical contest. Good to see Alex Neil going for it at the end of the game, which was kind of contrasted the Watford game on Monday, where we were like defending for our lives, trying to maintain a 1-goal lead. I guess probably it's more important not to lose at home, or to try and win at home, rather than away games. It's kind of like I'm happy with the draw. I think a draw is probably a fair result, and they do say if you can win your home games and draw your away games, you're going to be doing very well. So. Decent point. It's a very hard fought point. The players put in a lot of effort, got a few lumps kicked out of them, so it wouldn't surprise me if you find out there's another injury or two. But we do go again on Wednesday against Coventry, so it might be, people might have picked up knocks that they're not ready to recover from in time. But one thing to know, the promise that Smallbone showed when he came on in the Watford game, he looked very good, but today he was kind of hit and miss, really. So it wouldn't surprise me he was one of the first ones off, although he is coming back from being out injured. But there you go. 810 mil fans out there. Nice. You're watching the Swansea game. Shocked at Swansea. They booed. Well, there was a note. It wasn't all of them, but there was a sizable noise of booing at half time by some Swansea fans. So, what were they? What was the booing? Were they booing? Booing the players? Like, that's kind of harsh on them. Were they booing the ref? What were they booing? I don't know, but a lot of them, you could see the shots from the crowd from Sky Sports Plus, and they're just sitting there. They're not doing anything. They're not clapping. They're just staring at the pitch, like not doing anything. Like, fucking hell, what a fan base! Thousands of statues just staring at you. Odd, very odd. Now we've got some pictures, photographs, selfies, as the Zoomers call them, even though that's not what a selfie is. But hey ho, millwallfc.co.uk. Here we go. That's the goal there. Look, click, 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 click. You hear when you hear them taking the pictures. Click, 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 click. I know it's probably all digital now, isn't it? So does it still click? I don't know. That's the goal. Let's go for it. It's like a flick book. There you go. Boom, boom, boom. He's still looking back. He's not. He's worried. Is it going in? Is it going in? He's watching it all the way over the line, and finally gets the goal. Fantastic, fantastic stuff. Good to see. And Negley, probably fair that he got dropped. But when he came on today, he was running around. So I don't know if that. Okay, but it's good that you scored a couple of goals, but mate, you've got to run around a bit. You can't just be scoring goals, which is weird to say, but hey ho. Billy Mitchell as well. He looked good when he's come on. Ivanovic less so in my opinion, but again, coming back from an injury, so we'll see how that works out. And again, he can't play up front on his own. It just looks weird. This is the fixtures from this round of Championship, this weekend round of Championship games. A lot of draws, a lot of 1-1 draws, and this is all of the games. There's none tomorrow, so yeah, here we go. On Friday, it's West Bromwich Albion 1, Leicester 1, Wrexham 1, Derby 1, Swansea 1, Millwall 1, Coventry 3, Birmingham 0, Ipswich 2, Portsmouth 1, Oxford 0, Sheffield United 1, Preston 0, Bristol City 0, Sheffield Wednesday 1, Queen's Park Rangers 1, Southampton 1, Middlesbrough 1, Stoke 1, Norwich 1, Watford 2, Hull 1, Charlton 3, Blackburn 0. What a result that is. What a shock. Is that a shock? I don't know, but as we look at the table, it's only 7 games in, so again, what does it really mean at this point? But you do look to see the 2 teams at the top are the 2 teams that haven't lost the game so far. Coventry have scored 18 goals, so should be a good one on Wednesday. Do you think we can keep a clean sheet? Probably not. Do you think we can outscore them? Probably not. Yeah, this is going to be tough. It's going to be a tough one. Do you think we might go back to the 5 at the back? Maybe 6 at the back. Why not? Yeah. And finally, Sheffield United avoid 007. They are now 1-0-6. They scored 1 goal, which got them 3 points away at Oxford. Gary Rowett's Oxford. So does that mean they're good, or did they just win against a team that's nearly as bad as they are? Which is weird, they do have good players, they've got Tanganga there. So, again, kind of weird. And if you look at Oxford, they've scored 9 goals, Oxford. And they are there. We've only scored 6 and we're here. So, again, it feels like it's going to be one of those seasons where we grind out results. But, as long as we do grind them out, then we'll stay up here in the top. And Queen's Park Rangers are in 9th. Whoa. What a shock. Can you imagine Queen's Park Rangers getting in the playoffs? In fact, Charlton are there, Queen's Park Rangers are there, and Millwall are here. Interesting. London clubs all doing well so far. Is there anything else to talk about? Probably not. Nah. I think that's it. So we've got, what's this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 post-match comment stories, all from the southernnews.co.uk. So let's crack on and get on with it. So yeah, because I imagine because it was an early kickoff, it gave them extra time, to ride it up. So fair play. Alex Neil, pleased to leave South Wales with a. Shouldn't that not be capitalised? I'm not sure. Where's the style guide? With a point after battling Millwall, secure 1-1 draw at Swansea. Alex Neil said he was pleased with a point after Millwall fought to a 1-1 draw away at Swansea today. Yes, I am pleased with a point. Are you pleased with a point? Why not, Then they summarised the game, yada, 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 which I'm not going to do because we just read the match report. I thought it was a really hard-fought game. Swansea were better, by the way, certainly in the first 20 minutes. And they started brightly, and they were first to every ball. Then we grew into the half, and I still thought we looked threatening. So we got down the side with Adomo, quite a few times down that right-hand side. And, Kabanga does unbelievably well when he gets his foot in front of Josh, and he puts it over the bar from about 2 yards. It's a great chance for us, and we then get the goal at a really good time, just before half-time. The team talk was basically about how we can't start as poorly as that, and you've got to give Swansea credit. I thought they were really bright. They were aggressive, and we didn't match that for the first little bit of the game, which is disappointing. But as the game wore on, certainly in the second half, and the first half, we got better. We carried more of a threat, and we could have scored maybe 1 or 2 goals at that stage. Equally, they had a couple of chances as well. Second half, I'd probably say Macca's chance might be the chance of the half. The keeper's out of position. He probably shouldn't take a touch and take it in and maybe finish it off. And they had a couple, but probably more from a distance. More balls flashed across the front rather than clear opportunities. But yeah, we're pleased with a point. And again, from the Southern News, Millwall boss credits side's resilience in Swansea City draw. Unsure win would have been deserved. Would have been nice, but would have been deserved. Alex Neil admitted he was unsure Millwall would have deserved all 3 points if they had scored a late winner against Swansea City, but credited his side's resilience to come back into the game. Yada, yada, yada. Neil was pleased his side bounced back to equalise after a poor start to the game. Yeah, I think that's important, resilience and making sure you're not at your best or the opposition is playing well. You need to see those bits through. Any teams you play in this division, you're not going to have it all your own way. We need to make sure in those moments we try and see it through. We're steadfast and we don't concede. The goal is disappointing from our perspective. Good goal for them, but disappointing for us. And at that point, we need to try and find a way to get ourselves back into the match. Credit to the lads, they did that. We had 2 chances to do it, and the first one, where Cabango puts it over, and then the second one from the free kick. So that was pleasing. We had probably the best chance in the second half as well to go and maybe get the next goal. And I think if we'd nicked that, I'm not sure we would have deserved it to go on and win the game. Although I thought it was a tight match. There weren't loads of chances on either side. Yeah, we did get very lucky defensively as well at times. There was a point where Ida, it's very close. That Bender goes and he puts his hands on the ball on top of the ball, so it's touching the grass. He's holding the ball down on the grass, but at the same time that he does that, the attacker comes in and kicks the ball into the goal, and the ball gets disallowed. So again, I think I've seen that given before though, where a keeper's had his hands on the ball. Maybe it was one-handed. He had one hand on top of the ball holding it onto the grass, and the players kicked it out, and the ref said, yeah, well, let him go, like he didn't have control of the ball, because you're supposed to have it in your hands, not holding the ball down onto the grass. But yeah, we got away with that one. And I think we also got away with a penalty as well, but more on that in a later. He needed that. Alex Neil praises Millwall goal scorer after he nets first of the season against Swansea City. Again, as you can see, from Southern News. Alex Neil thought Josh Coburn needed that after the striker scored his first goal of the season against Swansea City, with the game finishing 1-1. The Swans took, we know all that. They're summing up the game. The header was Coburn's first goal of the season after signing for a club record fee in the summer. Coburn scored 5 league goals in 20 appearances whilst on loan at the Den last season. Neil was delighted Coburn got off the mark. I'm really pleased for him because he's getting into the right positions. He's getting opportunities, and that's what you want from your striker, isn't it? He's just not really managed to convert them. I think he needed that goal for himself, and we needed it certainly in the game as well. So, I'm really pleased for him. We know Josh's movement is good, and we know he lands in good areas, and we know chances are always going to come his way. And hopefully now we can try and go on a little bit of a run where we'll be a little bit more clinical and make sure we can try and finish those sort of chances off. That would be good, because he has missed some blatant sitters. I mean, my goodness. How do you miss that exactly? And here we go. Again, from the Southern News, it's always important. Alex Neil and Mill's away record after Swansea draw maintains unbeaten streak. Alex Neil was pleased to maintain his side's unbeaten record in league away games after Mill drew 1-1 with Swansea City. The Lions have played 4 championship games on the road this season, beating Norwich City and Sheffield United, and drawing with Charlton Athletic and at Swansea. Neil's side did not always look like maintaining that streak, going behind. Yada yada yada. Both teams had chances to snatch all 3 points in the second half, with Alameda having a goal disallowed and Macaulay Langstaff having the shot blocked, with Swans goalkeeper Lawrence Vigouroux off his line. The game ended 1-1 after another Swansea onslaught after 7 minutes of injury time, which Neil thought his side deserved. It's pleasing, Neil said when asked about his side's away record. It's always important, you want to try and win your home games and try and make sure you avoid defeat on the road. And somebody told me a stat after the game about Swansea's record here, and I don't think they've lost in 10 games. And actually, the last time we beat them, they'd been on a 7-game run as well, where they hadn't lost, so, But yeah, it's a tough game, a good side, well coached, and we got a point and probably a good value in the end, by the way. Yeah, we drew away at a team that has an incredibly insane home record, which was even more bizarre that, there were some fans booing them at halftime. If they were, maybe they were booing the ref. Like I said, I don't know what they were booing, but here we go. It was a Stonewall penalty. Swansea City boss to ask referee for explanation after penalty snub in Mill draw. Swansea City boss Alan Sheehan insisted his side should have had a late penalty in their 1-1 draw with Mill, and said he would be asking referee Dean Whitestone for an explanation. Zan Fipotnik looked to have his shirt pulled back by Jay Cooper in the 75th minute while trying to apply a finish to Josh Tyman's low cross, but Whitestone waved away the Slovenian striker's protest. The two sides have had more chances to score a decisive goal, with Adamida having a goal disallowed and Macaulay Langstaff having a shot blocked with the net gaping. Before the game ended in a stalemate, the Irish head coach, that's a clue, thanks for the clue, so I know what voice to do, told the media after the game that he strongly disagreed with Whitestone's decision. Oh, but Jesus, it was a Stonewall penalty, I don't know what else to say. There are the decisions right now, we've had one last week and now this one. When the league's so tight, with the teams from the bottom being the sides at the top, these are the games in which you want to keep accumulating points, so it's a decision I feel the referee got wrong. You have to give referees 30 minutes after the game before speaking to them, and so I'll be asking him why you got it wrong. Unfortunately, it's gone now, and we don't want to be a team that's unlucky and whinging about decisions, and we know we need to be more clinical in the final third. We were very good for large parts of the first half, and then we got the goal, but we conceded a set piece on the stroke of half time. We didn't defend properly, and we've got to find a way of getting that second goal. For sure. That wasn't the one though, because they had, I don't know if the guy played with him, on the Sky Sports Plus, the co-commentator was an Irish guy. I'm not sure if he played for Swansea, but I think he was an Irish international. Was it Stephen something? Stephen something. And he was talking about Jake Cooper pushing someone in the back and saying that was a penalty. So this is a different one. But didn't get any, so there you go. Now we look ahead to the future. 3 days in the future, Wednesday. Yes, Millwall duo in contention to return for Coventry City clash. And again, from the southernnews.co.uk. Luke Condell and Femi Aziz could be in line to make their return against Coventry City on Wednesday, Alex Neil has said. Condell suffered a calf injury in the Lions 1-1 draw with Charlton Fleck on September the 13th, while Aziz has been out since he injured his ankle in training ahead of the Lions' trip to Sheffield United on August the 23rd. The duo were unavailable for Mill's away match with Swansea City today, which ended in a 1-1 draw after goals from Vipotnik and Coburn. After the game, Neil, who was asked who might be back for the Coventry game at the end of the week, said, "You're probably looking at more at Luke, potentially Femi maybe, but I'm not so sure at this moment. We'll see." So there you go. They're all coming back at the same time. Who do you bring in? Who do you drop out? You saw the subs bench today who dropped out, Grant and Howland. They dropped out, but they didn't play in Friday's under-21 game. So that's interesting to note. So there is like a clear distinction, like, oh, your first team squad, you're under 21, and maybe obviously they did have match time. So maybe, if they're sitting on the bench for a long while, or even not getting onto the bench, then they might start playing for the under 21s to get some minutes. We will see, but yeah, Coventry game on Wednesday. Ooh. And that's it for the news. But before the video ends, I just want to share something. Obviously, all of post-match comments today from the Southern News. They're the only game in town now that the South London press has gone. And just sharing this again. Done this before. You can read the Southern News online, as in the actual paper, a PDF copy. Is it PDF? A PDF copy of it. You just have to go to issue.com and go to Community Matters Media. That's issuu.com. And you can see it here. They made it even cheaper. It's only 44 pence. So 44 pence. These other ones, the South London Weekly, these are free sheets, but they're not really. I don't think they have any Millwall news in, but the Southern News certainly does. And you pay 44 pence and you get to read the newspaper as it is a newspaper, rather than this, which is an internet story. You can read it as a newspaper, but just digitally. So, and it does go back a while, so you can see it once through time. So there you go. And on that note, thank you for watching, and goodbye.